Now what they gonna say? I fight younger fighters? Before they say I fight older fighters. Now what they gonna say? He fought younger fighters? They always talk. I'm the best fighter in the world.
Yo, Turkey, tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes. Let's go. Canelo, come on.
You heard it from him.
We are ready.
Just put me in the game. Just put me in the game. Canelo Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing. But we stay ready, though. We stay ready. That way we don't got to get ready.
Well, you used the key word, business. It was Canelo the businessman doing his business calmly, effectively, winning every round against a less skilled fighter who showed heart, competitiveness, size, strength, etc. I think he got Canelo's respect. By the end of the night, I think Canelo was a fan of Berlanga because of the will and the courage that Berlanga showed in hanging in there, taking those left hooks and uppercuts and, weathering the shots and standing in and continuing to show energy and trying in his way to win the fight. But the skill gap was vast. And, you and I know craft is king in this sport. Canelo is a polished craftsman. He has inside game in a very big way. And I give Berlanga a lot of credit for standing in, taking those hooks and uppercuts and finishing the fight.
He has gained so much experience, just like they all do, just like Canelo did from the loss to Floyd. Berlanga, he'll be okay moving forward. It was a tremendous beating. He's gonna have to take a little time off, but he can deal with any of them other 68s out there. Canelo's by far the best in the division, hands down. So, he'll be okay.
I spoke to Matchroom and they said they would love to do Caleb Plant versus Berlanga.
That's a good fight. I just tweeted that out too. I'd love to see that fight.
How do you think that would go?
Good fight. Good fight. Berlanga has gained, both of them have the necessary experience. That will be a war. One more time.
Canelo versus Crawford, would you like to see that fight?
I like to see all good fights. I like to see all good fights. The fight I would love to see is Canelo and Benavidez.
Oh, that'd be great,
that's the biggest fight.
Everybody
I think, yeah.
Props to this guy's jacket, man.
And naturally, the elephant in the room once again, Terrence Crawford. The conversations, I'm sure Jim will be hearing them abound. What do you think about the fight now that you just witnessed Canelo Alvarez again in the masterclass performance?
I love Terrence Crawford, and I want him to have what he wants. But off of what I saw tonight and what I saw in Los Angeles last month when Crawford was fighting my dream off, I am more than ever concerned that he's not big enough. And not big enough to be able to move around the ring and muscle Canelo in the way that he would have to ward off those really vicious inside power shots. I might have thought a few months ago that I would give Crawford a logical chance to win the fight. He is the most skilled pound-for-pound fighter in the world, but I just don't think he's big enough and strong enough to take on Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds. And so far, Crawford is 154-pound fighter who's only been to 154 pounds once and didn't get a knockout. So, I just don't see it at this moment. I think there is a very obvious assignment out there for Canelo Alvarez, and it isn't Terrence Crawford at this moment.
Good conditioning, good training, but the most important thing, good heart. And he did good. Canelo did amazing too. Two great champions. One of them, the Hanan to lose, young guy, 26 years old, and he had a lot of the win, but we probably lost already by decision. Vegas, nobody wins in decision, but hey, it's a good fight. Very happy with my guy.
What did you do with Berlanga?
He's a strength conditioning, and she's a chef. I do that nutrition as well, supplements, everything.
Man, listen, man, Edgar's a tough kid, man, you know what I'm saying? This is his biggest fight, you know what I'm saying? Canelo's the best in the game, but at the end of the day, my boy AB put up a great fight, so we here making a statement, bro. It's only the beginning.
What do you think is next, Edgar?
Just keep going up, brother. That's it. We here. Like I said, this is his stamp right here, so it's up from here.
Do you think Edgar was able to survive?
He trained, he had himself ready to fight. He did what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
go train hard. You think, come on, if you don't train right, it'll come down.
Would you like to see a rematch of this fight with Berlanga and Canelo?
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah? Well, after this performance, you think if you don't get Canelo Berlanga again, would you like to see Crawford or Canelo or Benavidez?
I'm
not sure about that.
I'm not really sure about that.
Thank you. Tommy, you think Canelo lost the step at all?
Yeah, Canelo good.
You look good?
Yeah.
Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is a good fight.
Did you expect it to go all 12 rounds?
Say it again?
Did you expect the fight to go all 12 rounds?
Yeah, but before no. But when his first round start, I saw his Berlanga. Berlanga is, yeah, he was ready. Yeah, he was ready.
Does he think Canelo slowed down at all?
I think no. I think no. It is looks great. Looks good. Looks good, but is Berlanga is ready for very good, and
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Sergey.
Why do you think Canelo systematically and methodically did everything right and gave him a clinic? It's a clinic.
Berlanga showed a lot of heart tonight. He really stole the heart of some fans. What did you think of Berlanga's effort in his performance?
A lot of heart. The guy was tough. He was taunting him after he'd lose every exchange and he'd come back for more and taunted him. And he's got a lot of promise. He's a young man, 27. It's his first loss. Losing to Canelo is no shame in that at all. Canelo is one of the greatest fighters ever of all time and dominating this division. So I think he's got a big future. Tough guy, really tough guy.
What's the fight you want to see Canelo against? What's the next big Canelo fight you want to see?
Whatever he wants to do, he's earned that right. So whether he goes, whatever direction he goes, if Bivol wins, he's stated an interest in that. Benavidez is going to be sitting out there. There's a lot of opportunities for him. Who knows? Who knows what exactly he'll do? But whatever he does, he's earned that right.
After a loss to a legend like Canelo, how does Berlanga bounce back? What can Berlanga do?
He'll learn a lot from that, and he'll be fine. I mean, he needs to take some time. He needs to rest. Good night. Get some rest and just reevaluate. Don't come back too soon. Learn from it, and he'll be great.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Gray.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you. All right.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Edgar Berlanga made a great account for himself, don't you think?
100%. I think he earned a lot of fans and certainly a lot of allegiance from Puerto Ricans tonight. But I think even some of the Mexicans in the audience appreciated that he was willing to fight as hard as he could, even though he was losing every round.
Fans and analysts are already picking sides. Some are calling this Canelo's last great stand, while others are giving props to Berlanga for showing heart. Even if it wasn't enough, we've got experts praising Canelo's veteran moves, but there's also some serious heat coming from those who think Berlanga was underestimated. And don't get me started on what the fighters themselves had to say after the bell. It was tense. But here's the thing. Before these two stepped into the ring, the energy was electric. Everyone had an opinion on how this fight would go down. Some predicted an early knockout from Berlanga, banking on his aggressive style to overwhelm Canelo. Others thought Canelo's ring IQ would prove too much, and he'd weather the storm, taking it to the later rounds. The hype wasn't just in the air, it was in the interviews, the face-offs, the predictions from fans, and even former champions. Let's take a quick look at what everyone was saying before the fight, and see how it matched up to what actually went down. Not everyone was sold on Berlanga's hype before the fight. Boxing legend Teddy Atlas didn't sugarcoat it, throwing serious doubt on Berlanga's chances. Here's his brutally honest take.
Berlanga's young, he's undefeated, hasn't learned how to lose yet, and he's got talent. I just don't know if he's ready. I'm going to say he's not yet ready.
Teddy Atlas was not convinced he was ready for a challenge like Canelo. Teddy Atlas, known for his brutally honest takes, didn't hold back in his analysis. He questioned not just Berlanga's technical skills, but also his mental preparedness for the big stage.
Not just physically, technically. I think, he's got talent. But I don't know if he's mentally, and I'm going to say he's not. But for the sake of handicapping, I have to make a choice one way or the other. I don't know that he's ready. I didn't think Munguia was ready, even though he had more fights. I didn't think Munguia had enough fights at that level or on that stage to be ready, even though he had a huge amount of fights, twice as many as Berlanga. But I also thought that Canelo picks these guys for a reason.
And there it is. Atlas wasn't shy about drawing parallels to past fighters who stepped up too soon. He saw potential in Berlanga, but when it came to betting on him in this fight, he leaned the other way. And after what we just saw, maybe Teddy was onto something. Atlas didn't stop at questioning Berlanga's readiness. He broke down exactly why he thought Canelo would have the upper hand. He pointed out the crucial mistakes Berlanga might make and why Canelo chose him as an opponent in the first place. He added, "We're picking spots to engage and picking spots to do smart and not engage where he gives up too much and he stays in front of Canelo too long, where he can use his young legs, box on the outside, use his jab, pick spots. If he can do that and maintain that mentally, emotionally in a consistent manner, yeah, you could take the plus $800 if you want for $100. If you can afford to lose $100, take it for $100 if you want to do that." But even after acknowledging Berlanga's potential strategy, Atlas was clear. He didn't believe the young fighter could pull it off over 12 rounds. Atlas added, "At the end of the day, I don't know that he's going to be able to do that to the point where he can actually win the fight that way. Again, I think Canelo picked him for a reason, thinking he's not ready, thinking that he will be able to engage Berlanga at some point or force his way to Berlanga to fight the kind of fight that favors Canelo." Atlas wasn't wrong to highlight those dangers, and after seeing the fight, it's clear why Canelo felt confident going in. Before the fight, Teddy Atlas didn't just hint at a Canelo win. He was confident, even laying out how he thought the fight would unfold. He predicted a Canelo victory, and he didn't stop at just picking a winner. He broke down exactly how it would happen, even suggesting a knockout was likely. Teddy Atlas stated, "I would take Canelo by knockout. I would take a bet on that. I would also take a shot on the over because I think the younger Berlanga has enough ability, as I described, to survive or potentially survive into the 8th, into the later rounds. Yeah, would I be shocked if Canelo got him out of there in 4, 5, or 6? No." Teddy was hedging his bet slightly, predicting that Berlanga might have enough to hang on until the later rounds, but he didn't waver in his belief that Canelo would finish the job. Teddy further noted, "But if I have to make a bet, or I want to make a bet, and I gotta go within the confines of what is laid out there by the bookmakers, I would take a shot at going over 8.5 rounds and also put a little bet on the knockout." He even saw the logic behind a knockout in the mid to late rounds. And now, after the fight, we know exactly how close he came to nailing it. Was Teddy spot on? Let's dive deeper into how it all played out in the ring. Even with some tension between them, Terence Crawford didn't hesitate to back Canelo Alvarez going into this fight. Despite Canelo's previous comments about him, Crawford put his personal feelings aside and gave an honest assessment of Berlanga's chances. Crawford said before the fight, "I think Alvarez stops Berlanga. I think Berlanga is head over heels with this fight. I think Berlanga can be a great champion someday. I just think right now, Canelo is just too much for him." Crawford's take was blunt and to the point. While he saw potential in Berlanga, he believed the timing of this fight was all wrong for the young fighter. After watching the fight, was Crawford right in calling Canelo too much for Berlanga? Or did Berlanga rise to the occasion? Let's break it down. Before the fight, former champion Andre Berto issued a stark warning to Berlanga, stressing just how high the stakes were in facing a fighter like Canelo. Berto didn't mince words. He believed Berlanga was stepping into a different world, and if he didn't rise to the occasion, he was in for a tough night. Berto emphasized the importance of aggression and urged Berlanga to avoid getting outplayed by the seasoned veteran.
I mean, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot, man. I mean, Berlanga's definitely stepping up to a whole nother. He's definitely stepping up to a whole nother league. This is what he asked for. this is what he asked for. That's one thing about it, when it comes to this fight game, man. Like I said, a lot of these kids, they ask for it, and once they get it, they got to step up to the plate. It's a lot of factors that are going to play because Berlanga, he's dealing with experience. He's dealing with a whole different type of atmosphere that he's used to. So he's gonna have to get in his bag. He's gonna have to get in his bag this weekend, man, and try to figure it out.
Berto's message was clear. This wasn't just another fight for Berlanga, it was a make-or-break moment. And after seeing how it all unfolded, Berto's prediction hits even harder. Did Berlanga step up to the challenge, or did Canelo's experience prove too much? Let's break down the fight and see just how accurate Berto's warning turned out to be. Before the fight, veteran fighter Gabe Rosado weighed in on the Canelo versus Berlanga showdown, offering his expert breakdown. Rosado, who's seen it all in the ring, didn't hold back in predicting how the fight would go. He pointed out that Canelo, despite being older, was looking sharper than ever and praised his experience and fight IQ, which he believed would give him a massive edge. Here's what Rosado had to say before the fight.
You know what, bro? I think his last fight against Munguia, we saw the old Canelo. We saw him moving his head, counter, speed, power. It was like he didn't lose a beat. So, I think Canelo's fresh. I think he lives a good lifestyle. He's disciplined, he's dedicated. And, I think he's probably at his best right now because he may not have the speed he had in his 20s or whatever, but now he has that IQ on a level where it's like he's almost like a wizard type shit. So, Berlanga got a tough task in his hand.
Rosado's analysis paints a picture of a seasoned Canelo evolving into a more cerebral fighter, and after seeing what happened in the ring, Rosado's breakdown couldn't have been more accurate. Canelo's experience and fight IQ truly shone through, leaving Berlanga with a mountain to climb. Let's unpack how Rosado's prediction played out in the fight. Rosado didn't just highlight Canelo's strengths, he also laid out exactly what Berlanga needed to do if he had any chance of winning. While acknowledging Berlanga's lack of experience compared to Canelo, Rosado urged him to take a completely different approach if he wanted to survive in the ring. He made it clear that this fight couldn't be about finesse. Berlanga had to bring a relentless, aggressive style to have any hope. Gabe Rosado also stated, "I just feel that Berlanga, man, since he doesn't have the experience that Canelo has, he has to then come into this fight like a dog. Determined, bro. And move that head and pop that jab, you know what I'm saying? Keep your head off the line because Canelo's thing is that counter." Rosado was crystal clear. Berlanga couldn't try to outbox Canelo. He had to turn it into a war. And after watching the fight, it's safe to say that Berlanga's ability to make it gritty could have been the difference between survival and defeat. He also added, whether it's the uppercut, the hook, the right, it doesn't matter. He has the full arsenal. So I just want to see Berlanga really come in and fight like a dog, bro. Leave it all in the ring. Because I feel that's his best bet. If this was a chess match, it's Canelo. So, Berlanga has to make this an ugly fight.
Are you backing the Puerto Rican? Is the Puerto Rican inside you saying, I want Edgar Berlanga to win this?
No, man, not really. You know what I'm saying? I like both guys. Canelo is a great fighter from Mexico. I respect him. I respect what he's done in the sport. And Berlanga, Puerto Rican kid from Brooklyn. I understand the environment. I'm from Philly. Brooklyn and Philly's very close. So I understand both fighters, man. And, I would like to see Berlanga reach greatness. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not rooting for either fighter. I just want to see a great fight.
And while many expected Rosado to side with the Puerto Rican prospect Berlanga, he made it clear he wasn't picking favorites. But in a fight like this, staying neutral is tough, especially with national pride on the line. Before the fight, Eddie Hearn stirred the pot by boldly claiming that Berlanga was the biggest puncher at 168 pounds.
Edgar's one of the biggest punchers in the world at 168, there's no doubt about that.
But with such a declaration, the pressure was on. Could Berlanga live up to the hype, or was this just promotional talk? As the fight unfolded, fans were left wondering if Hearn's claim would be backed by action in the ring. Chris Algieri had strong thoughts on how Edgar Berlanga should approach this massive showdown. He praised Berlanga for his bold attitude in the lead-up, particularly during press conferences where he played the role of the villain and showed no fear in front of Canelo.
Shut up. When I talk, shut up.
I don't want to shut up.
Shut up.
I don't want to shut up.
When I talk, shut up. When
I don't want to shut up.
Canelo.
When I talk, shut up.
Canelo.
What?
When I talk,
And then
shut
what?
up.
What are you gonna do?
And then
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
All right.
What you gonna do?
But Algieri made it clear that Berlanga couldn't just talk the talk, he had to back it up in the ring. Algieri said, "For Edgar, I want to see the same energy that he's brought in the lead up to the fight. You know, at the press conferences. I think he's done a really good job playing the heel and being aggressive, not showing respect to the legendary Canelo Alvarez. So I think he needs to bring that this week especially, and then also bring that into the ring." Algieri's words hinted at the importance of Berlanga maintaining that same fiery energy when it really mattered. The question is, did Berlanga carry that aggression into the fight?
And for Canelo, man, he's just got to understand what's in front of him as usual. He's got to not let the negativity from Berlanga and things he's saying get under his skin in a way that's going to affect him negatively in the fight. And just go out there and do what he does. And I think everyone involved, on fight week, it's important to stay focused on the task at hand.
Before the bout, Algieri's advice to Canelo was simple but crucial. Stay focused, don't get distracted, and handle business like a pro. Anyway, on the other hand, boxing legend Bernard Hopkins confidently backed Canelo Alvarez to stop Berlanga. Hopkins wasn't just leaning toward Canelo, he predicted a knockout within 6 or 7 rounds, showing little doubt in his mind about the outcome. Here's what he had to say. Hopkins stated, "Canelo gets the knockout within 6 or 7 rounds. I'm going with Canelo. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Anything can happen, right? But if you ask me who I'm going for, if I have to put money down, Canelo all day." Hopkins didn't hedge his bets, making it clear that he believed in Canelo's ability to finish the fight early. Renowned trainer Robert Garcia also threw his support behind Canelo Alvarez, echoing the confidence many had in Canelo's power and experience. Garcia didn't just predict a Canelo win, he backed the idea of a knockout, aligning with Canelo's bold claim before the fight. He said, "I think Canelo should win by knockout as Canelo already said it, so for this fight." With even trainers like Garcia expecting a knockout, the pressure was on Berlanga to prove everyone wrong. Now, after the fight, did Canelo make good on his promise? Or did Berlanga defy the odds? We all know the answer. Canelo proved once again why he's one of the best in the game, delivering the performance everyone expected, and maybe more. Berlanga, despite all the hype, showed heart, but was clearly outclassed. The predictions were spot on for most experts. Canelo's experience, IQ, and power were just too much. But the real question is, where does Berlanga go from here? And can Canelo keep up this level of dominance moving forward? Only time will tell, but for now, the boxing world is buzzing.